Welcome to Go Legal Yourself podcast, episode 50, title, How to Monetize Your Talent. Welcome to the Go Legal Yourself podcast. This show is about knowing the legal life cycle of your business. I'm your host, Attorney Kelly Bagler, the Queen of Business Law, and you can interact with us on social media at golegalyourself.com, and definitely do find us on the web at golegalyourself.com. This podcast is about knowing the legal life cycle of your business, and by knowing where you are, it's easier to become successful. Get ready for a life-changing show as we empower all business owners and entrepreneurs to dare to become successful. Today, we bring you one of the most sought-after and talented entrepreneur, Denise Benz. She is the CEO of Authentic Speakers Agency. Welcome, Denise.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited.
Well, thank you so much. As am I too. I have been trying to book you for months.
And here I am.
And here you are. Well, thank you for gracing our audience. Well, tell us a little about yourself. And before you do you have a joke to share with us?
Oh my gosh. I should have known the joke question was coming. I'm not a joke person. I see comedy wherever I go, but I don't store jokes in my head. I think I heard one earlier today, and I'm afraid if I try to say it, I'm going to mess it up. How do you make an apple puff?
How?
You chase it around the garden. I don't know if I said it right. I don't know.
That was perfect because you're thinking about an apple puff pastry, right?
Yes.
Oh, how sweet is that? Well, thank you for sharing.
No problem. You can borrow that anytime, Kelly.
I appreciate it, yes, Denise. And it had absolutely nothing to do with law, but we love jokes here.
Or branding or marketing.
There you exactly. Well, maybe it had a little to do with monetizing your talents.
You know what? That's good.
Stand-up comedy.
There you go. I like that.
Yes. Well, please do share with our audience who you are and tell us about the brilliant and talented Ms. Benz.
Goodness gracious. Wow. Can you just travel around with me and do my intros?
I'd love to. With this accent, I'd love to.
Oh, yeah. I like that. I'll have to use you for my sizzle reel somehow. Well, first of all, thank you again. I am honored and humbled to share this microphone with you. I love listening to your podcast. I share it with all my friends because you always give great information, super valuable. And a lot of people may know me from the self-development industry. I kind of give you the snapshot of who I am.
Perfect.
Those of you listening, my name is Denise Benz. I am the founder and owner of a company called Authentic Artist Management, Authentic Speakers Agency, and I've been in the self-development industry for almost 20 years.
So you started when you were 3? I
started when I was 3.5, actually. Yes, 3.5.
So, I knew it.
I think that I discovered that my gift is seeing people beyond where they see themselves. And so I actually have 2 businesses that I work in pretty actively. One is the speaker side, so that's Authentic. The other is I have a company called the PR Firm. And PR is an acronym, stands for personal relationship, because that is how I live my life. I think it's really important to build business based on relationships. You want to have people in your tribe that complement you, people that have the same passion and desire to impact the world that you do, because together you just do cool stuff.
So what you're saying really is social media can't be a replacement for everything. Old school definitely does exist.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I think I posted something and it said, it was talking about not having that your friends on Facebook and Instagram are not your friends. My real friends are the people that know my name and have my phone number.
Right. That can call you up and have a cup of tea or something.
Yes. Unfortunately, I think that we're in this era right now where we're replacing human contact and relationship with social. I mean, look at how we manipulate our photographs so we can look like we're having a great time. I could just go on and on and on because I look at people's social media all the time, especially when I'm looking to represent them. Mm-hmm. I want to see how they're presenting themselves to the world. And there are actually people that I can't friend them because their life is just way too crazy and they're not in my tribe. And so I don't even want to be associated with that level of madness. So I can look from afar, but I just, on a personal level, yeah, I'm not going to friend them.
Well, you have a talent, like you just said. You can see people for who they are and what talents you can actually ignite in them. How do you do that? What's your background?
You know, I always say that my gift is seeing people beyond where they see themselves. And I used to, like I said, I came from the self-development industry, but I used to coach a lot of business executives, a lot of realtors and brokers. And I used to have them do an exercise where I had them put their finger out in front of them and stare at their fingernail. And I said, look at the acrylic that's lifting, look at the polish and don't break contact. And I want you to slowly bring it into the tip of your nose and continue looking at it. And then I say, now that you probably feel cross-eyed, I want you to slowly pull it back. Now, you think that I'm brilliant because I'm able to give you perspective and share things with you that you didn't see, and you find yourself beating yourself up because you didn't see it. But the truth of the matter is I'm able to see it based on where I'm sitting. You're too close to it. So my gift, my natural gift is when I look at people, I don't see our differences. I don't see what's wrong or broken. I see how their life can actually bless someone else. I see how their stories can bring healing. I see how the thing that lights up their heart can actually be something that they monetize and make money from. Typically they're too close to it to see it. So I'm able to listen to what makes their heart sing and help them create some structure around that and then, live their dreams out loud.
Isn't it true that people they usually give themselves 3 to 5 seconds when they see someone and they make up their mind about them within the 3 to 5 seconds, Denise?
Yes.
So that could be, again, looks are everything in the business world, everything. If you are going to roll out of bed and show up at a business meeting, what does that say about you?
Yes.
It means that you don't take time for yourself. That means you're not going to take time for your client. Mm-hmm. And it means you're not representing yourself to the best of your ability. Now, wherever I go. So this morning I had a meeting with a friend of mine, and we met at a Panera Bread in Solana Beach. Uh-huh. For those of you that are international, we're talking about California. It's a coffee shop. And the cashier, sweet as pie, she said to me, you always wear the nicest dresses, always. So I'm making impressions on other people that I had no idea about. And she goes, I wish I could wear dresses like that too. I said, of course you can, not here, but I'm sure you can. But just to sort of know that people are watching all the time. If you go into a coffee shop,
yes,
you go out to lunch, dinner, you go out shopping,
yes,
people are watching you. Within 3 to 5 seconds, they make up their mind about you.
Yes.
And when people say, oh, you shouldn't judge, that's the biggest BS, right? Because we all judge.
Yes.
Everyone judges, even you, audience.
Yes, absolutely. I go over this in great detail when I'm working on creating the brand for someone. And I have people come to me from all walks of life. And can we rewind a little bit?
Absolutely.
Okay. So one of the
when
things.
When you were 3.5?
When I was 3 1/4. One of the things that happens is people know my background and they'll call me up out of the blue and go, oh my God, Denise, is there any way I can talk to you? I hate my job. I hate what I'm doing. And I just want to go do something different. Can you help me? And so the first question I ask them is, what is it that lights up your soul? What is it that you would do every day for no money whatsoever? Eyes closed, just passionate about it. And then they tell me whatever that is.
I would play with dogs all day.
I believe you. You're a dog mommy.
Somebody else is a brand new dog mommy too.
Yes, the growing pains of a 2-year-old. But you've taught me well, so yeah.
Well, thank
yes,
you.
I'm using all the tips you've given me, and they're working actually. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So the first thing I ask them is, what would you do for no money? What lights up your soul? And once they tell me that, they think I'm going to like roll into this whole thing of how they're going to make money. I go, okay, so that's great. The very first thing I need you to do is I need you to get control of your mind. And they're like, wait, what? What does that mean? And I always tell them that you let this conversation with, I hate my job, I hate my boss, I hate what I'm doing, I want to go do this other thing. But you have to rephrase that. You have to change your perspective, because if you are negative in your mind, how are you going to bring something great into the world, right? So the very first thing I have them do is to look at that 9 to 5, not as this place that I hate to go to, not as these people I want to deal with, but wow, actually I'm fortunate. My 9 to 5, it gets to fuel my dream. So now when you go in going, there are a lot of people that they're creating businesses because they were fired, because they have nothing else to do. There's a lot of stress and anxiety that comes with that. But if you realize, okay, I'm exiting this environment, so every 2 weeks when I'm getting a paycheck, that's a blessing, because that money is fueling the thing that really lights up my heart.
That's an incredible way to think about if you will, lack of words, a dead-end job.
Yeah.
Or something that you absolutely detest getting up and going to. That's a brilliant way. So where should the audience send checks to?
You can send them to Debbie. No, I'm joking.
Wow, Denise.
Yeah, that's the first thing that I have people do. And they're always, every single person, they're surprised that that is the advice that I give. And I tell them, I even say this to my celebrity clients that are trying to break into something different. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It all starts with the power of your mind. You cannot do greatness in the world when you're cursing the thing that is actually sustaining your business and your family and your life.
Absolutely.
So once we figure that out, now I'm like, okay. They go, do I go build a website? Is that what I need to do next? Do I need to tell everybody this is what I do for a living? I'm like, no.
Right.
No. And most people, they're motivated to go create a website and start charging because they're looking around at other people going, well, I want to do that. This person doesn't look as cute as I, or they don't have the education that I do, and they're making X amount of dollars. So the method they think they need to follow is the fake it till you make it, and like, let me go create this cool website. I find a lot of people in real estate typically operate that way. Right. They look at the high producing agent and they think, okay, in order for me to be successful, I have to replicate that. I need to go lease a car. I need to get fancy suits. I need to have the best jewelry and designer watches and bags. That's great. It's a perception. But my philosophy is you need to start by building relationships. You need to let people know that you care. You need to figure out how you can use your talents and gifts to deposit into other people. So I tell them, I want you to come from a place of giving. How can you take the thing that lights up your soul and give to other people? If you want to be a coach, right, and you're in corporate America, can you go do Little League for free? If you want to be an author, can you sit down and start ghostwriting for other people? You have to take the monetary part out of it, which I know sounds backwards for a lot of people that need to generate money. But my philosophy is when you do something from your heart and your mentality is about empowering other people, the money will come.
That truly works. I'm a prime example of that. I don't know if I've ever shared this with you, Denise, but I love what I do.
I think I've heard that a time or two.
You probably read it a time or two
yes.
as well. I absolutely love what I do, and I feel extremely blessed that I'm able to live the life that I'm living today. And because I love what I do, I put that extra, I take that passion and I create it into something that my clients need. Mm-hmm. So I represent business owners. I represent clients that want to become business owners, that want to open a business, that want to run a successful business, that even want to sell their successful business. So that's my clientele, both domestic and international as well. Mm-hmm. And I have been in practice for going on 17 years now.
Wow.
And my passion is exactly the same that it was today when it was the first time I opened my law firm, which will be 10 years this year.
Oh my gosh.
I know. We have to do a big celebration episode on that.
Yes,
we
definitely.
have to. And it is the passion. And once the clients see you, wow, this is a different attorney. Mm-hmm. She's not all about money. That's not the first thing she asked me. Well, I need a retainer, or I need a check from you. It's really, truly about how can I help them become more successful? How do I help them stay out of trouble? And clients, they refer other clients. That's like the biggest compliment anyone can ever get.
Absolutely. I have to candidly tell you, Kelly, I know a lot of attorneys, and you are the first attorney that I've ever met that was not really focused on how do I line my pockets. And some of these people are close friends, but because they're close friends, I have candid conversations with them right behind the door, and they really are focused on how to make more money. And unfortunately, there are times that they're wanting to do that as the top priority. I'll say it that way. I'm trying to say it in a tactful way.
Of course.
That even if it's not in the best interest of the client, they feel that their priority is to line their pockets. So that's their driving force. But everything about what you present, the things that I've learned about you, I've read your book, I listened to your podcast, I've watched you teach in front of the room. Your focus is you're like the advocate for the business owner.
Thank you.
Like people need to, it's like they need this information before they start. And typically people come to me after they're like 3 years in, they spent a lot of money on a bunch of stuff that didn't work. They've got a website, they've got a business card that their nephew designed.
It's always a nephew.
Oh
it's
my gosh.
A nephew.
It's always piecemeal together. And so on the marketing side, when I take on a marketing client, I have them bring all their collateral and I take a look at it. And I promise you, it never looks like it's from the same company. It's all over the place. And it's like the finger on the nose. They're so close to it. They've never sat down and gone through the process that I take them through. And they're like, yeah, this looks crazy. I'm like, well, this doesn't have your website and this doesn't have your phone number. Right. And all of a sudden they're like, how have I been doing this for this long? And I go, this is why you're here. This is why you're frustrated, because you've been trying to be all things in your business. And what I've learned is that you need to do the thing that lights up your soul, and you need to have the courage and the wisdom to pull in other people that have other strengths that you don't have. And it's okay. Entrepreneurs beat themselves up all the time for not having all the answers. You feel like you're supposed to know how to do this. Whether I'm dealing with an attorney or a doctor and I'm doing their marketing and branding, I'm having that conversation, or on the speaking side, if I'm managing a comedian or a singer or a doctor, all of them sit down, and when we close the door and there's no one else but us, they close their eyes and they're like, Denise, I'm so embarrassed. There's so much stuff that is just lacking in my business, and I know it. And I always tell them, okay, I need you to release all of that, because you didn't get into this to build flyers and websites and business cards.
Thank you. Or marketing.
Yes.
I'm brilliant at what I do, but marketing, forget about it. That's why we have the talented Denise Benz on the show.
I think it's the biggest blessing you can give yourself, is releasing the responsibility of having to have it all mastered. No, I'm not saying don't be responsible. No, you be responsible. You hire Kelly. You go legal yourself. Like that's how you can really help your business. But having to master all these other things that are necessary to make a business go is not one's priority. And one of the things I say all the time, and now I hear my clients saying it, which is, yeah, that's not in my wheelhouse. Mm-hmm. Or, you know something, I'm going to have to let that go because I have to stay in my lane. And I'm comfortable admitting when something is not in my lane. I think that unfortunately, we spend so many years with trial and error in a business that a lot of people, and you probably see this, after spending a decade in the business, they're frustrated because they realize that they didn't set it up from the gate to exit out of it the way that they wanted. They just, in their head, they're like, I'm going to leave this to my kids.
But they have nothing to leave, Denise. They have nothing. They might have a brick and mortar store. Say you have a brick and mortar store. Mm-hmm. What are you going to leave them? You're going to leave them a lease to the landlord's building. Maybe the lease is not renewed after 10 years or 15 years. Are you going to leave them inventory that's maybe outdated? People really, this is exactly what we do, Denise. You look at the big picture, right? As do I. We meet with clients, you look at the big picture. What is your big goal? Where do you want to go with this? Based on that, I can actually give you direction as to how to set up your business properly. And you do exactly the same thing. Somebody comes to you and say, okay, Denise, I have a passion. You know I can help businesses. I can help business owners or people that want to start their business. How do I share this passion with them? How do I get it out there? And you say?
I say, well, the first thing is we need to figure out how can we deposit into other people. So let's kind of flush out who needs this service or this gift that you have. Let's go find out who they are. And now let's go talk to them and see how we can service them. And I promise you, when you go and just share your knowledge and your wisdom, the doors open because people feel, wow, this lady gave us so much valuable information. It's like this podcast for free. She knows what she's talking about. She doesn't have a website where she's saying, I need you to give me this much money. And we don't even know who she is. She's depositing or he's depositing into me now. And that's why my method works, is because you have credibility. In the beginning, people want to just throw up a website and ask for money, but there's no credibility there.
Exactly.
So let's go figure out who we want to service, start doing it. They're going to be your market research. So it's not just you're giving to them and you get nothing in return. You get to see, does this really work? The thing that I'm saying that I want to do. You get feedback from them. You get to build your resume and your portfolio on the thing that you said lights up your heart. And now you go, this really can be a viable business. Now we got to create some structure around it. We need to build the branding and the marketing. We need to package it in a way that we give them even more than they expected. And literally that formula is the same across the board. Whether you're wanting to be a singer, whether you're wanting to be a soccer coach, whether you want to be a hairstylist, you want to be a musician, it doesn't matter. You have to start by depositing into other people. And what's so funny, I always say,
I love that saying. Honestly,
really?
This is the first time I've actually heard that, but it goes to the root of creating that relationship, deposit into
other people.
Yes. I
Yes.
love that. Did you just come up with that?
No, I've been saying that for years. That's why my other company is the PR firm. People think I do like public relations, but PR is personal relationship. I'm going to tell you a secret. When I first started my business, I'm such a like behind the scenes kind of girl where I don't need to be on stage and waving to the people. So I didn't want to put owner. I didn't want to put CEO. And I was like, what could I put on my card so that people don't think it's just, that it's me? And I said, I view myself as a partner in their business. So my first title said managing partner. And I remember going into a meeting, and at the end of the meeting, I was handing my card to the person that brought me in. And they said, Denise, are we going to be able to meet your other partner? And I was like, my other partner? And it wasn't until that moment that I realized they didn't think I owned the company because I put managing partner.
Right,
and I was like, oh, maybe I should change that. But it just speaks to my mentality that really I view what I do as a gift and I'm depositing into other people. I just want to partner with you. And I feel like I want to be the flashlight, the person that just shines the light so you can shine brighter. And I love that. Like, that's my gratification.
Who wouldn't want that on their side? Seriously. You need 3 partners to have a successful business. And I've spoken about this on previous episodes. One is obviously a business attorney. Obviously.
That's 1, 2, and 3, actually, but go on.
Thank you. And then number 2 is number 1. No. Number 2 is a CPA. You need a really great CPA on your side. And the third is you need a flashlight. You need Denise. You need Denise Benz. I love that, Denise. I love it.
I receive that. And I never really saw it as a gift. And someone that's known me for probably 15, 16 years, I'm working on a book, and it's called Finding Your Authentic Voice. And it's designed for people they want to become speakers, or they're just adding speaking to what they do in their professional world. And she looked at me and she says, Denise, you are like a flashlight. Like your gift is, no matter who comes to you, they always walk away illuminated because you see things in them that they didn't even see. You take a project that was like this small, and all of a sudden it has all these arms and legs. And I thought everyone did that. And it wasn't until then that I realized, oh, I guess that's really, I can't turn it off.
Right.
When I go to a restaurant, I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh, they're leaving money on the table. Please don't let me go to a concert. If I go to a concert, I'm counting seats. I am looking at the stage. I'm wondering, okay, do they have merchandise in the back? Okay, why are they not selling, food or drinks or
right.
They should be promoting the next event. Like, I just cannot turn it off. But nowadays, I'm more responsible with my gift. I think your listeners should keep in mind that we have a responsibility when you have a gift to not cast your pearls amongst the swine.
I think after listening to the 50th episode of Go Legal Yourself, I think they're very, very familiar with that now. But we like to hold people accountable on this show. And so when are you planning on releasing that book?
Oh, my goodness.
Exactly.
So I am in the editing phase. The book will be out before the end of the year.
Okay.
I was recently, I don't even know if you know this, I was recently asked to be highlighted in a new film that's coming out. And it's called Imagine a World. And the premise of the film is about Gandhi's quote, "Be the change you want to see in the world."
Right.
And I was my heart just leaped for joy because I wasn't finished writing my book and I was asked to be in this film. And it was a publishing company that's producing it. And I thought, but I'm not an author yet.
You better hurry up then.
Right. So the fact that they invited me, it was just really beautiful. So I have to be done because the film's coming out.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
Wow. Are you going to be signing autographs somewhere?
There'll definitely be a release party.
Yes.
And I will be. And I wanted to create this book because I realized that there is a method to what I do. And when I looked at it, I thought, something? I use the same method, whether I am working with speakers or I'm working with, an attorney or a doctor who's really trying to brand his practice.
Right.
It's a very similar process. It's kind of, I always say business is business is business is business. And when I was younger, I thought, okay, well, if you can sell newspapers, you can sell, I don't know, what's next? Cars. If you can sell cars, you can sell houses. You have to understand the basis of business. And based on what you do, you know this all too well. I'm so preaching to the choir.
Absolutely. Exactly.
So I think we're one and the same. I think I get it. This is why you're capable of working with so many different types of industries, because what you're doing is you're giving them the foundation of how to structure a business so that you are protected. And I just think that it's phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I think that it's so long overdue. A lot of people sign up for entrepreneurial conferences and they're all, excited and they leave and they think, I'm going to go start a business. But there isn't anyone out there telling them how to structure it out the gate. You know what? Maybe we need to use this analogy. It's like if you want to build a house. Right? If you already know that your goal is you're going to have 10 kids, you're going to have 5 dogs, you're going to have like 3 horses, then don't just go on Craigslist or Hot Pads and start looking at houses. Like, you have to understand if
that's
you're
a custom built right there.
Exactly. But I think that people don't think about that.
That's an incredible analogy, because now you are actually looking into the future. This is what you want. This is your dream. And you apply the same thinking to your business.
Yes.
You want to be in 5 states. You want to be selling products internationally. Well, where's the foundation? The foundation is what Go Legal Yourself gives you.
Yes.
That's how I would describe Go Legal Yourself. And in fact, we are inviting our audience who are even across the seas. We are actually an international podcast now. Did you know that, Denise?
I didn't know that.
We are in 23 countries.
Oh my gosh.
And it's really, really exciting. People are listening to us all over the world. So
wow.
I am going to personally give you my email address. And when you email me and say you heard so-and-so episode on Go Legal Yourself podcast, I will send you a signed book.
Oh, wow.
Go Legal Yourself book. And if you refer to Denise's podcast, episode 50, Denise, I'm sure, will love to sign a book for you also.
Absolutely. You know what? You beat me to it. I was going to say, well, you can't give away your book and have me not come back and give away my book. So I will definitely do that. I'd be more than happy.
Exactly. And then obviously the audience will know exactly how to get a hold of you from our show notes as well.
Yes.
And the audience already knows too that we do have an app, the podcast app, and it is on their app stores. All they have to do is go to your app stores, search Go Legal Yourself, and download it for free. For free.
You know what? You cannot be your own cheerleader. So I'm going to be your cheerleader for a second. And I'm going to tell people that this is what I want you to do. Don't just go download it for yourself. I want you to pull out your phone. And after you get it, I want you to think everyone knows at least 3 to 5 people who have a business, starting a business, or just need help in their business. Send them a link to listen to this. No one wants to admit when they're having challenges in their business. Trust me on this because I talk to business owners all the time and I get the inside scoop behind a closed door. And what I realize is everyone's struggling with the same thing. And so do yourself a favor, do your sphere of influence a favor, and refer them to this content. It will bless them, and they'll be able to get in contact with Kelly directly.
Yes, that email address. I suppose I should give it to the audience.
Yes. You dangled that there for a second. I was like, how's this going to work?
Well, shall we push it off until the 51st episode? No, I wouldn't do that to you. So it is kelly@golegalyourself.com. It's as simple as that. Email me. Reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you. I don't care if you are in some corner around the world. I would love for you to reach out and let me know. I would love to share who you are on the show as well. How about that?
One of the things that you do, Kelly, that I think is so great is I know that you do some sort of assessment where you ask people a couple of questions, and then I'm not positive exactly how it works, but I know that you're able to look at their business, look at where they're saying they want to go, and give them a roadmap. I don't know it would cost people thousands of dollars to go through that process. And quite frankly, anyone else that calls me and tells me they want to start a business, I'm going to send them to you, because there's nothing worse than watching people who have worked for 5 and 10 years and at the end of it, there's nothing to show for it, simply because the foundation wasn't set up properly.
That is it's heartbreaking. That's what it is, because they put their soul and blood and tears and everything into it. And then at the end, they could potentially lose all of that, because you're absolutely right. There was no solid legal foundation they built upon.
Yeah. So I love that you do that. And that's just one more example of how you really lead with your heart. There's not a lot of people that know attorneys. There's not a lot of people that can pick up the phone and call an attorney for advice. And so the fact that you make yourself available to your clients it's just amazing. And Kelly Bagla is someone that you want to have in your Rolodex. You want to have her resources, and don't just listen to this podcast. Listen to all of them, because I promise you're going to walk away with some valuable information. And even if it's not applicable to where you are in your business, chances are someone. And I don't know why we don't call professionals. We call our girlfriends and our buddies when we need help.
Who know absolutely nothing.
So now you can be the hero. You can say, you know something? As Denise says, that's not my wheelhouse. I'm going to stay in my lane, but I'm going to send you this link to Kelly Bagley at Go Legal Yourself because I think she touched on that. And then you can be the hero.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah. And then you can have them pay for your drink.
Yes. And you would deserve it, really and truly.
Right. Denise, share something with our audience that they would not think of as far as monetizing their talents. And I know it's a very, very broad question. So let me give you an example. Let's just say a business owner wants to get more recognition for more exposure. They want more exposure for their business. Say they just started out and they're between 1 and 3 years old and they are not reaching their audience. Could you give them a tip as to where they can start or how they can start thinking about reaching out to their audience?
That's a really great question. And it's actually something that I cover with people when they are in the 3 to 5 year mark in their business. Typically they're frustrated because they feel like they're leaving money on the table and they're like, I know I should be doing something different. I don't know what that is, but I feel like there's people coming ahead of me. Coming after me, and they don't have as much experience or the years in business, but look how well they're doing.
Right.
And so
people are always comparing themselves to other people. Stop that.
Well, Kelly, this is what happens. They get so comfortable because in the beginning, they're on fire, right? So their business is going great and they don't feel like in year 3 or 5 that they need to give anything back because they're comfortable with that residual money coming in and doing just the bare minimum to keep their business going. But when people talk to me, I look at how the business is structured, and I'm a really big advocate on making sure that we go back and honor the people that have supported us in our business. So I always ask people, do you have some sort of a referral program? Do you have some sort of a rewards program? Do you have a system in place to ask for referrals? Are you depositing back into the people that have built your business? And chances are that's really who you should be marketing to, right? Because they're already raving fans. They already think you're great. So what if we create something that allows them to give your services to their aunt, their uncle, their network at a discount? They look like the hero and you get a new client. So people are so busy chasing the next dollar and they think they have to be really great and compete with everyone else that's out there. If you just service the people that have serviced you, your business will grow. And it sounds very simplistic, but a lot of people don't even think to do that because they're so busy chasing the Joneses. I posted something the other day. It says, don't bother following the Joneses. I saw them at Walmart.
Right.
So that's one of the first things that I tell people. I want to look at, maybe that's just the essence of who I am. I want to look at how are you depositing into other people? So it goes back to that. So that it's a question that I always ask them.
I want the audience to raise their hand and, if they have ever even thought about this, keeping the people close to you that were there from day one, that helped you grow your business, that supported your business. I don't see any hands. Do you, Denise?
No. Zero.
That was just that was priceless. That piece of advice was absolutely priceless, and it's so right on the money because you're right. From 3 to 5 years, that always business owners are thinking about the next big thing, thing, right?
Right.
Never ever forget where you came from and who supported you. That's absolutely right.
You know what? Here's something that's really simple, and a lot of people don't do this, but it'd be really cool. Let's say that you are a CPA or an accountant. You know your industry inside and out. You think about this stuff when you sleep, and a lot of things just come natural to you because you do it day in and day out. But me, the worker bee that's going to work every day, I'm not thinking about deadlines and I'm not up on the different laws that are changing. What if in your profession, you made a little cheat sheet, a list, just educating your client base on these 5 tips that they need to know for the upcoming year?
Right.
It doesn't cost you anything. And it begins to put you in a place where you look like the expert in the space. You want to solidify your spot and always be on top of what's happening in your industry. And now you become this source of information. Even if people are not working with you right now, they're getting information from you and they're going to go, you know something? I haven't called my CPA this month, but I get his newsletter. Let me forward you that because I think he hit on that. Or, oh, they did a Facebook Live video and I heard him talking about that. I heard him talking about this. So those are simple little things that you can do to add value. But at the basic level, it goes back to my whole philosophy, which is depositing into other people.
Depositing into other people. That was absolutely fantastic, Denise. How can our audience get a hold of you?
They can contact Kelly Backlight. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
We're exclusive around here, don't you know?
No, I'm very easily accessible. They can contact me through Authentic Artist Management, Authentic Speakers Agency. I'm on all social media, Denise Benz, DeniseBenz.com, you name it.
And we will have your information again on our show notes, so you're not going to be this big massive secret that nobody can get a hold of you, because I know after this show people are going to want to reach out to you. We want to thank you again so much, Denise, for being here and just sharing that wisdom. It truly is priceless. Truly is priceless. I appreciate
it.
Absolutely.
And thank you for what you do. We need you.
My pleasure. Again, I love what I do. I don't know if you know that, but I love what I do. Thank you so much, Denise.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime.
And audience, please, please, please feel free to, when you download the app, you can actually reach me directly. Did you know that? Now that I've given you my email too, make sure you drop me a line. Reach out to me and I promise you I'll send you a signed copy of my book, Go Legal Yourself. And if you do send me an email and you mention this show with Ms. Denise Benz, I will even send you a second signed copy of my second book, which is Go Own Yourself. Exactly.
Love that.
So this show is always about supporting you as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. How can we help you become more successful? And remember, make today the day you go legal yourself. I am Attorney Kelly Bagley, the Queen of Business Law. It's been a pleasure being your host today. Until next time, cheers to your success.